Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. I'm your host, Elena Fox. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time, and that whenever and wherever you happen to be in this number-filled scientific and mathematical universe, that you're still able to exercise a form of scientific reasoning among your spiritual journeys, and that you're able to have balance between logic and emotion, and that you're able to discern certain truths and figure out for yourself what's real and what isn't real. Now, what am I talking about? Oh, lordy. I wanted you guys to know about Grabavoy numbers today. And I'm stepping out on my porch. I'm doing this in the middle of the day because my cat has decided to take off and just explore the yard again. I'm a little nervous for her, so, nervous cat mommy. She meowed at me a minute ago, so I think she's okay. I'm going to come back inside. You can tell the sound quality difference as I'm going from room to room. Anyway, what is this about? This is about the Grabavoy numbers, because the so-called truth came out about Grigory Grabavoy. Now, Nick had told me about these numbers, and then somebody else wrote me, I can't remember who now, had written me about the numbers as well. And I believe Cosmic Threader had mentioned it briefly. And so 2 or 3 people have told me, hey, why don't you do a show on Grabavoy numbers? And he claims to have a handle on the secret cheat codes or life hacks of the universe. And all you have to do is put these things, these numbers on a piece of paper and read them all the time, or chant the numbers, or say the numbers, or have them where your eyes can see them, or write them on your arm, or anywhere on your body. And so I found a very scathing article from insider.com. And they're very rude towards spirituality in general, at least this particular author. But there was some crazy shit that came to light about Grigory Grabavoy. Whether he's a doctor or not, I'm not sure. But he apparently ran a scam in the 80s about resurrecting children that were killed in a massacre. And the prosecutor claimed, and he claims to this day he never asked for any money from anybody, but the prosecutor claimed that he was charging women $1,200 to resurrect their children. It's so bizarre. It's such a bizarre thing, and there's my truth, your truth, and the actual truth, right? So it's what the prosecutor says, what Dr. Grabavoy says, and what is the actual truth somewhere in the middle. So maybe he suggested a donation of, if he could, raise them, and maybe he didn't raise them, and maybe, he didn't get paid. I mean, that might be the truth. But it's not just that with this guy. Apparently, he's gotten in trouble for other scams and other things he's run and other things he's said and other things he's done. This is like, a Russian scam artist, Dr. Seuss poem, apparently. So, anyway, this guy apparently has, what else has he done? He's claimed he's the second coming of Christ, and I asked God, is he? And the answer was no. Just asked again. Muscle testing says no. 386 people, I think, was what I read in the article, that had been massacred, and a bunch of them were children, like 100 or something were children. So, like, why would he just suggest he's going to raise 12 of them from the dead and raised none of them from the dead? And not all of them. That was kind of weird. That was like a weird part of the story. Like, why not just... But that created a cult following around him. And now, knowledge. Now I see my cat on the fence. You get your fur butt over here. That's not your yard, girl. You can't go outside if you're going to go in someone else's yard. Oh my God. I see her. She's trying... She went out... It looks like she went over to the beach. Maybe going to go grab her own fish. You get your butt over here. Kitty, 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 kitty. Oh my God. She looks like she's stalking the pigeons now. They're like twice her size. Get your fur butt over here, meowers. Yeah, you get over here, honey. We're doing the show and you're late. Come on. You're late. For what? Fair enough. Just kidding. If any of you saw A Million Ways to Die in the West, that's hilarious. Anyway, so this guy, what else did he do? So he started this cult, like following this, spiritual whatever. And then he, knowledge, don't you dare go in their yard. I think these are the people that poisoned my landlord's cat. So I told her don't eat anything. I also told her to not leave the yard. So her credibility with me is slipping, girl. Meow, ow, ow. Yeah, you get over here. If I call her in her language, she responds, meow, meow. I realize how much of a crazy person I sound like. Now she's trying to jump down from their yard, run across their yard to come see mommy. I could just feel it. Oh my God. If I snap at her, sometimes she comes. She hates that, but she'll come just for the sheer joy of attacking my arm and biting me hard. If I snap at her, which, as well she should, because it is rude. Nah, come on, kitten, get your butt over here. Oh my God. Her little fur butt is in trouble now. I can't let her outside if this is how she's going to be. Because I don't trust the neighbors. That's, they poison cats because they're assholes. I mean, it is what it is. Guys, please send love and light and prayers for my cat. That she's always safe and always intelligent enough to figure out that mommy's food at home is better. Better for her, and it won't hurt her. Anyway, so with this grab avoid guy, what else did he do? There was other scams that he ran. Like, he started a cult like following, and now there's like a cult like following on TikTok. And some critics are saying when you say write the numbers on your arm, that it's making fun of the Holocaust survivors. That's not true. It has nothing to do with that. It's just, you put a vibration in your vicinity. It's like, if you wear crystal in your bra, doesn't make you a person making fun of prisoners who had to break bigger rocks into smaller rocks. Like, come on. It's sure it's not really the same experience. No one said tattoo a number on your arm, forcibly. So I thought that was a bit of a stretch, and it's just like people want to complain or make up stuff where things don't really, they're making up a story where a story it wasn't. But there was some other history with this guy. He ran other types of scams. He served years in prison, and now he came out with this number. But the thing is, he called himself the second coming of the Christ, and he said he could resurrect people from the dead, and he didn't, making wild claims like that are unsubstantiated, and he couldn't back them up, and he couldn't produce any miracles whatsoever. And now he's saying he's got the cheat codes and numbers for the universe, and I'm thinking, well, does he though? He said he was elected to the New York Academy of Sciences, and there is no elections. It's just $135 membership. So that could be a language thing. I mean, giving him the benefit of the doubt over there. Meow, meow. I'm still calling the cat. I lost sight of her, but I know she's somewhere in the neighbor's yard, and I want them to just not fucking hurt her. Like, kitty cat, get your ass over here. Get your fur butt here. Meow, meow. There's some really strange, it's a really pretty butterfly. It's gray and white, guys. Gray and white butterfly. And earlier I saw a bird that is literally the color of my natural red hair. I won't say my hair right now because my hair is more blonde right now. But I saw like a redhead bird, literally the color of red, like red hair. Not like, like a cardinal red, but like actually like, like a strawberry blonde redhead. And I saw a yellow butterfly too. So if any of these symbols mean anything to you guys, that might be a message, from your angels through me as well. Because it does, even if I'm telling it to you and then you saw something like that also today, it's like, okay, now it's time to look it up. I also saw a wood bee, otherwise known as a carpenter bee, and I saw yellow fungus. So there's yellow fungus growing on the stairs. We had a big rain for a couple days. Meow, meow. She's almost here. She's like trying to make her way across. If I knock on the wood here, if I scratch, make the scratching sounds, she likes that. Meowers, come on, girl, get out of their yard. I told you. Definitely gonna have to move from this place and one day when my cat can, so she can have a nice yard to run around in and no actual danger. Oh God. All right. So just keep your discernment and your wits about you when these TikTok trends come tearing down the pike. Give them a good turn if you think it's going to be something that actually works for you. But if they don't, just let it go. Like, I tried the Grabavoy numbers. I did not feel an energy whatsoever from them. I did not feel a difference whatsoever. I kept putting it off, and God kept saying, well, try it, put it off. And God knew the truth of it, but He let me figure it out and discern for myself. And I'm like, I don't really feel anything particularly different. I tried it. I even had these insane videos where people are saying the number over and over and over again all night long, not subliminally, but out loud, which can drive one fucking insane, hearing these numbers over and over and over and over again, repeatedly, So I'm just like, I'm kind of glad I didn't jump on that trend bandwagon. I think the Jussie Smollett thing kind of, I don't even know what's going on there, what actually happened. I mean, is he serving time for lying right now? Did he get off? Was there any, lying about being jacked up by Jamaicans, which made no sense, calling it a racist hate crime? Is that, I don't know. I can't remember what happened now. I've been through so many timelines lately that I don't even know. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk to you about, was the Grabavoy numbers. And the second thing I wanted to mention and talk to you about was I'm sorry, I got to go check the cat again because she didn't quite make it into the yard. Get your butt over here. Come on. Where are you? Come on. I'm over here. I'm over here, girl. Come here, sweetheart. Come on. I might have to go rescue her. She's meowing, but I know she could get back over here because she did the other day. So now I'm going to walk down the yard. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to bring up is on Monday, if you guys are behind on the life and teaching of the Masters of the Far East, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert, I suppose. Meowers, where are you? Honey, get over here. Over this way, darling. Come on, Knowledge. Miss Ravensbell, you get your butt out of that yard. That doesn't belong to you. There's a pile of junk under a shed. and it's covered in all these vines. It's like, looks like an abandoned house. This is in the neighbor's yard. And she's now stuck somehow. She's not really stuck, but she's in there. Come here, baby girl. Come on. I'm knocking on a bamboo pole so she could hear where I'm at. I'm in this direction. So it's okay if you're not, up to date on all of the... we're on book 3, so it's quite prolific how many weeks we've been doing the Monday readings of the life and teaching of the Masters of the Far East. But I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a spoiler alert. When you say the name God, this is what Jesus said in the most recent lecture that I... Hey, there you are, baby girl. The most recent lecture that I read to you on Monday, and I started to read his words, and I read the lecture, and what happened was I started channeling immediately really powerful information, like downloading this light where the light was so intense that I had to stop. Hello, darling. Just stay inside our yard, baby girl, okay? Knowledge. Acknowledge me. Meow. 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 That's how she says I love you. She's so cute. Meow. That's how she says mom. All right. Okay. Now she just said it. I don't know if you heard that, guys, but she just said mom. Such a cute baby girl. All right. Mommy's upstairs. All right. We're doing the show. If you want to participate today. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. All right. So she's kind of participated by being naughty, though. I had to go call her back. Sometimes I have to call upon the archangel of herding cats. I assume there is one. And I say, please get this cat back in my house. So you guys could try that too. If you ever have a missing animal, just say, I need the archangel of lost puppies or herding cats or whatever. Because I have a feeling this is all... There is an archangel for everything. So, okay, this is the thing. Now I've just walked up and down the stairs twice while doing the show. It's a very active episode. So, this lecture that I was reading by Jesus, I literally had to stop and download this stuff for God. I don't even know how long. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I was out. I wasn't passed out, but I left, and my body just received so much light that I couldn't even talk, I couldn't even see, I couldn't even open my eyes. It was pretty intense. Just to be honest with you, it was really intense. So then I finally was able to recover a little bit, finish the rest of the chapter, and then that was it. I couldn't even handle reading a second chapter. Plus, we only had 20 minutes, and I didn't know how long the next chapter was. And like I said, I was barely able to see because of all the light coming in. It was just like I was overloaded. My brain was overloaded. All of my circuits were being bombarded with this pure white light. And what it said in the chapter was, if you say the name God over and over again, there's a specific energy and vibration that will help you ascend faster, basically. I'm paraphrasing. He said, it will bring all of these things unto you faster. You just focus, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Well, we've been talking about cities, and yesterday we finished the 4th of a series of episodes about cities, the superhuman powers that are attainable through spiritual practices. Such as bilocation, being able to be at 2 places at the same time. What they didn't mention, though, was traveling on a ray of light, traveling on a beam of light, like teleportation, transportation. There's another word for that. It's like teleportation, but it's apportation, I think they call it, where you immediately appear where you need to be, where you want to go. You're just immediately there. Well, hello! Hell's bells, look what the cat dragged in, literally herself. Hey, baby girl. It's so nice to see you, baby. Hey! Hey! Brr, meow, meow, meow. That's the curious chirping that she does sometimes. What you doing, girl? Yeah, what's happening? Did you enjoy your time? Mommy loves you. Thank you, baby girl. It's so nice to see you. I've noticed something when I do let her out for a little bit of time, that she does tend to be more loose and limber and emotionally relaxed. So I want to be able to let her out. And she enjoys it so much. But at the same time, I don't want her being in the neighbor's yard. Yeah, such a baby good girl. Oh, you're such a good girl. Come here. Yeah, come on in. I'm not going to shut the door. I'm going to let you, I'm going to let you free. You get free flow. Yeah, it's nice to see you, girl. Yeah, you could come sit on your pizza box. You could sit on the box if you want. Okay. She's like, I'm tired now. She's just laying down. Did you go to the beach? Did you see any fish? No? Okay. And so, where'd you go? Did you see dogs? You better stay away from the dogs. Yeah? Okay. I didn't shut the door. You're fine. She's like, I better go outside before she gets the notion. I'll shut the door again. Good. It looks like she's going to hang out on the deck, hopefully. Hey, girl. You're not allowed in the dog's yard. That's a dog's yard. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, at this cat already. This is literally the living, breathing, ongoing Raven spell report, the familiar report. That's just basically what's going on with this girl. Like, we slept until past 1. Oh, good. She's just laying downstairs on the concrete. There you go. I love you. She's giving me kitty kisses eyes, so she's going to relax for a bit. This is your yard. Don't go anywhere else, girl. She gave me this look, and she just kind of rolled her eyes at me like, I know, Mom. Typical teenager right there. I love you, girl. Everything's good, yeah? All right. Okay, she just gave me the kitty kisses again. She's hot because she's been running around. It's a little hot today, like 83 or 84 degrees. The sun's coming out here in Manglar Alto, Ecuador. I'm right next to the best surfing beach in South America. Not right next to it. I'm like 3 kilometers from it. And the sun is coming out. It's actually pretty nice. It's a beautiful day. But we slept really, really late. She kept telling me to pause the snooze button. Let's snooze it again. Let's keep, putting our paws on that snooze alarm. And we paused it for like an hour. It was ridiculously hard to get out of bed. And I'm going to tell you guys why. I did this exercise that Jesus said to do. Just when you get moments, you just say, God, 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 right? That over and over again. And you just think about how much you love the person who created you because it's you. How much you love yourself. And it clears away all of the junk, the dross, the shadow crap that, holds us back. It literally is a healing tool. But I'm going to tell you, I woke up today, guys, with the energy that I don't know how to describe it. I feel hollow and empty physically inside. I feel like did I go up any timelines? God says no. Did I go up in an ascension vibration? Yeah, I went up in ascension vibrations. I went up in vibration, basically. Ascended energetically up into higher frequencies and higher, just basically higher vibes. And I feel different. And God asked me in the middle of the night, I woke up in a twilight kind of period of sleep, between sleeping and awakening. In the middle of the night, I woke up and God said, are you ready to give up the body? And I said, how do you mean that? Do you mean ascension into the 5th dimension? And the answer was yes. And I said, then if my cat can go with me, then yes, I am ready for that. And I asked about my kids, and he said, well, they're going to do their thing, their individual souls, but you have to be ready for you. You can't be responsible for anybody else. And I said, okay, great. But what about the cat? Because I am responsible for this cat. I don't want to just ascend. And I was really worried, like, what does that look like? If I ascend into the fifth dimension, does that mean that my physical body just falls away like an old ass husk, and then my landlord finds my body and thinks I've died? Because fuck, I don't want to do that, right? And God said, no, you're going to ascend in a way in which you're actually not going to die, taking your physical body with you, which gives me a clue as to why my body feels so fucking weird today. So that was the discussion I had in the middle of the night with God, and then in the morning I was asking more questions. So that's how it's going to be. We're physically transforming and changing our physical body so that we could ascend physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. We're ascending everything. That's why we have to go through so much emotional crap, to clear it all out, to say, I forgive you to those we need to forgive, to say, I forgive you to ourselves for allowing ourselves to go through such horrible, crazy, crappy experiences in the first place. All right, I was getting too hot even talking and thinking about it. I had to pause for a minute to change clothes, okay? Because I start to feel very hot because the energy is hot. It's coming in really strong and fast. And as I'm talking about it, I'm just like starting to burn up. Plus, it's getting a little hot here, but it's not just the outer heat. It's like an inner heat. You say, God, 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 God. Now, if you're not comfortable with that, you might want to try your word for God, see how that energetically fits with you. Goddess, 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 a totally different vibe. Great spirit, great spirit, great spirit. That's a lovely vibe for me, that one. But Jesus said to say God, 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 and you're probably rolling your eyes going, God, of course he did, ha ha. But but that's, his version of it, and it does hold an energy. There is a vibration there. I can attest for it because I think I have gotten rid of a lot of my physical heavy density over the night, and I'm going to keep doing this. I've got a 9-hour bus ride tonight. Knock on wood, I finally make it. My passport, as you guys know, if you listen to yesterday's show, I went to the notary public in Santa Elena, which is like 3 hours round trip on a bus, 90 minutes each way. And they freaking took my passport to let me in the door and never gave it back. I didn't notice. They didn't notice. I come home and I was scrambling to get things ready to walk out the door, and oh shit, where the hell is my passport? I scrambled. I was looking through everything. I was freaking out. I was going frantic. I called the landlord. I'm like, do me a favor and see if I left it in the printer at your friend's house. And if not, if he could please call the notary public and say, hey, do you have her passport, And so it was just this whole thing like, oh shit. And I started asking God, and I started asking, did I just hop 13 timelines, parallel universes up in energy to arrive at one in which I forget my passport? And God said, no, you forget your passport in every timeline. It's a major event. Or it's a minor event. It's not a major event. It's like a minor event. A major event is like the birth of your daughter you've expected for 20 years, But that's a major event. Getting married, major event. But it was a minor event that had to happen for whatever reason. God will not reveal it until it's revealed to me through my, observation and experience. So, some things remain a mystery, which is nice. Mystery is always good. See, every time I call the cat, she goes out, she walks around, and then she flops down like, I'm just going to lay here for a while, Mom. And the minute I walk away, she takes off. I know she's in the yard. Okay, yeah, I asked God, is she in the yard? Yeah, okay. She is. She's still in our yard. But anyway, just, nervous cat mama. Anyway, so yeah, I was doing this thing, God, last night, and I started becoming very aware of my own brain. I healed my whole brain. I just saw it from a couple different angles. I saw my nervous system and I healed my nervous system. I did all of this stuff. Did I actually heal my brain? Muscle testing says yes. Did I actually heal my nervous system? Yes. And I've healed my body, and I'm becoming more and more where I need to be. Like what, the kind, I don't know how to say, the kind of body I'm supposed to have to ascend. I don't know. I got up several times in the night to pee. This is maybe TMI for some of you, but I think I peed out a lot of fat weight. And in the morning, I noticed when I urinated that it looked, literally, it was like a rainbow. It was a rainbow color. I mean, it was like a bunch of different colors. It sounds really weird. It had like a sheen or hue to it that was like a rainbow. It was rainbow. I'm peeing rainbows. I shouldn't have had that second, unicorn slushy yesterday. I'm peeing rainbows. I mean, it just, maybe it's TMI and it's really weird, but it's weird for me also. And so, share the pain. But I feel like there's something weird like that has happened now that I've done this thing that Brother Yeshua has said to do in this book. So I'm going to urge you guys to try it and see what happens, just for a whole night. And when I tried the Ho'oponopono process after that, it felt like it was a lower vibration than saying just God, 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 God. And I noticed that I magnetized myself more towards God and more away from this physical reality. I've noticed that I've felt a lot different. I woke up feeling hollow, physically hollow. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I am thinner. I looked in the mirror, and I just have a very tiny mirror, so maybe I'm not seeing it right, but I do look, when I look in the mirror, I do look a little bit thinner, like not a lot, but not like yesterday. I feel like I've changed. I haven't seen my face yet today. Yeah, it looks normal. Looks normal, nothing major. I didn't have any bags under my eyes like yesterday. But the cat slept on my head the night before, so that might be part of it. But the cat and I slept 13 hours. Well, she didn't. She slept about 10 in a row with me, and I slept 13 hours. She kept waking me up for about 3 hours, just hopping from place to place, looking out the different windows, patrolling, making sure we're safe and all that. I'm sure that's what's in her mind. She's keeping us safe. So, hey. Uh-oh. She's in the neighbor's yard trying to attack the pigeons. She's giving the pigeon the evil eye. I gotta pause this. Hold on. All right. Well, anyway, the cat has decided to completely defy me and started growling at me. And so she just wants me to allow her to explore. Now she's looking through the dogs' yards, and the neighbor kids, I told them she's very sweet. I said, please don't hurt her, but that doesn't mean their parents won't. And now she's gone into the neighbor's yard with the dog, and then the other neighbors, which I don't think have a dog. Anyway, God, the ongoing saga of this cat. Really never should have let her outside, but I just felt like, one day of running around, it makes her feel good. But I'm so worried for her. Anyway, all I'm doing now is just saying God, 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 God over and over again, trying to magnetize myself with the one will. And what I noticed is there was a pull inside of me, but also from the sun itself, where I'm being pulled more towards the sun. I don't know. It sounds weird, but try it, you guys. Let me know. Get back to me at Mermaid Girl 888 and let me know what happens if you try this also. What your experiences are. I mean, I'm feeling a little bit less hollow and empty inside, but I feel like I don't know, I want to say I'm like perfecting my body, like to the point where it's I mean, I'm not saying I'm incorruptible, but it's nothing like that yet. But I feel more in alignment with the one will, and maybe I could do stuff for all the neighbors around here if I end up like the Masters of Light someday. That would be really cool, because I just looked in the neighbor's yard where the cat was, something I didn't notice before. They have a really deep, what looks like a sinkhole. And I'm thinking, oh, great, if that's a sinkhole, this is a 3-ring shit show where I live. I really need to magnetize myself towards God and try to help everybody, not just me, just everyone around me. Anyway, when you do this and you magnetize yourself to the primal will to good, or the prime creator, goddess, the great spirit, divine, whatever you want to call it, you're going to help everyone around you with your energy. So, right now, my cat is absolutely being defiant, and it's like, I'm trying to have one kind of energy here going on, and she's just trying to give me the opposite. But earlier, I wanted to mention that before she started to attack the pigeon, who's now just kind of strutting his stuff because he got away, obviously, that pigeon was doing the same thing to 2 canaries who was stealing his food. So I thought that was hilarious. It's like the chain of life, circle of life. But canaries, I saw a male and a female canary, yellow, bright yellow canary. So if a yellow bird or a canary is something that's come up for you lately, there it is again. It's come up again. It's a message from the universe itself for you. All right, I'm not going to do a very long introduction this time. I just, let me know what your experiences are. If you write me on Mermaid Girl 888, I'm not going to be able to respond for a couple days. However, when I can, I will. Maybe I'll be able to respond around 7 or 8 in the morning tomorrow morning. Because there's a little cafe across the street from the government building that has excellent breakfast and really good coffee. And I'm going to be able to just hang out there for a couple hours while waiting for them to open their doors. And so, yeah, there's that. I'm going to get into keto around 4 in the morning. So, I don't know. It's like either hang out outside for 2 hours waiting for that place to open up, or hang out in the bus terminal, which is a very strange and interesting place, especially in the middle of the night. So I'm probably going to wait and then get a taxi when the sun comes up around 6. It's just so strange and feels sketchy because my son is normally with me, but I've got God on my side, and so I know I'm going to be all right, especially with this new trick. Saying God over and over again with reverence, honor, respect, and literally vibing and gelling with that energy inside of you. That's what I've been doing. It's been really good. It's funny, here's my cat in the yard right next door to the dog that was barking his head off, and now it's not barking at all. That's a different dog in a different yard. God, there's so many dogs here. And this little boy started to chase my cat really fast. Like, he was afraid of it, afraid of her because she's a black cat, maybe. So there's also superstition at play here. Oh, this baby girl, she's not going to be able to go outside anymore. Oh, I feel bad because it's like, no, you know what? I think I've had it. I really do need to move to a better place. She was telling me the truth when she said that poem on Monday that I read for you guys. That she's had enough. She wants to go home. She wants to go back to her yard where everything's safe and she's safe and everything's good. God. I don't want to move back there. I can't live in the higher elevation right now. But who knows? But God said when I ascend, I'm going to automatically take the cat with me. So that's pretty cool information. She'll go with me ascending, and we're going to ascend in our physical bodies. I guess she's gained my energy while she's laying with me at night and I'm meditating. And she's down with it, man. She puts the tip of her tail and all 4 paws in my hand a lot. And she'll bend her head down in reverence to me at night. And she will, bowing to me. And she puts her head in my hand as well. It's so cute. And she's been doing this for like a week. So maybe that's true. Maybe if I ascend in the middle of the night, It's like, what am I going to leave behind? Like, what are we going to leave behind? We hop up into the 5th dimension. We're phased out. We're no longer here in the physical. Like, what's going to happen? I mean, we're going to be slightly physical, but like, will our landlords like notice we're not there for a while and then go in and what's left is like a glowing rainbow? Spinning hearts, what's it going to look like? Is it going to be like, snow that just doesn't fall and doesn't melt? I mean, what's going to happen when we go, what's our room going to look like? Filled with energy. Here she's calling me again. I'm going to go. All right, guys. So this is, we're going to get into space weather news. My computer just shut itself off. Of course it did. Electronics have been really crazy for the past week, by the way. I think we're just now starting to get out of the shadow period, Mercury retrograde, maybe one more week of this. Yeah, how is this? It's like I have full charge. Now my computer just shut the hell down. Right when I said I'm going to do this part, everything has been like this, and I don't know why. Exactly. All the opposition, and all I'm thinking is God, 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 God. I want to get away. Yes, I want to give up my body. And Jude Dikoff, when he is one of my people that I have regularly interviewed. He said that God asked him that years ago, and he said no, he was scared. He thought he was going to lose his identity. You have to clarify with the one will if you get this question. Do you mean lose my identity and be reabsorbed back into your energy? Or do you mean, am I ready to give up my body, go to the 5th dimension? Or do you mean die, like leave my body behind and go to the 7th dimension, or now the 9th dimension? You have to clarify before you say yes to the question. But I clarified last night, and it was basically, do you want to ascend? And I'm taking my body with me. He says, are you ready to give up your body? And what he meant by that, give up what I know my body to be. The knowledge of what I believe my body is right now. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I want to go. And I said, what about my twin flame? After the cat, what about my kids? What about my twin flame? And the answer was, the minute you ascend, your twin flame will ascend also. So don't worry. You can't be separated. You're one soul. So for those of you who are asking yourselves that question right now, hopefully that answered it. All right. Current solar wind speed is 329.7 kilometers per second. This is according to spaceweather.com. It's a little bit calmer than yesterday. Sunspot AR 2835 on the sun's western limb, where it, oh my God, with the stupid of a pop-up, and it's from my computer. It's supposedly from an antivirus software. It's a little advertisement to sell me more stuff. It's like, see, I am ready to give this crap up. So sunspot AR2835 on the sun's western limb, where it magnetically connected to Earth through the Parker spiral. Holy fuck. What did I just say? Last night, I felt like I was connected to the sun. Maybe you guys felt it too then. Maybe it wasn't just me. It was everybody. Oh my God. Through the Parker spiral? Holy shit. Now check this out. Co-rotating interaction region. NOAA forecasters say there is a chance of geomagnetic unrest on the 9th of July when a co-rotating interaction region, or a CIR, is expected to hit Earth's magnetic field on the 9th. So it's in 2 days. CIRs are transition zones between slow and fast-moving solar wind. Solar wind plasma piles up in these regions that produces CME-like density gradients that can spark auroras. That part is cool, but okay, so a co-rotating interaction region. So it's a transition zone between slow and fast-moving solar wind. It sounds like we're going to get pulses of light. I think this is going to pop us up into the 5th dimension for those of us that are ready. I don't know. That sounds really crazy and amazing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, on Friday, that might be the last show of Metaphysical Soul Speak ever. If that pops me up into the 5th dimension, we'll see. It maybe won't. Maybe it will. I don't know. The way I feel today, I feel like it's completely possible. The way I felt yesterday, I would not have believed it. I don't know. I feel totally different today than I did like even 2 days ago. All right, solar cycle 25 is beginning, and we've gone down by cosmic radiation by 0.3% since the 48 hours. Since the past 48 hours, it's gone down, the cosmic radiation, probably because the solar wind and radiation is increasing a little bit. Solar wind flowing from the equatorial coronal hole will reach Earth on the 12th of July. So we've got this CIR coming on Friday, and then more solar wind 3 days later on Monday. And there was other solar wind that was flowing here that should have been here already, and also be here Friday and Saturday as well. So we'll see. That might have been on another timeline now because they're not even mentioning it. We are now looking at the All-Sky Fireball Network, and NASA's All-Sky cameras did scan the skies above the United States today for meteoritic fireballs. What they discovered was there were 14 fireballs in the, I think 13 states they're even monitoring. 13 were sporadic. One was a microscorpid. So your guess is as good as mine. From Scorpio, from the Scorpio region of the sky, I don't know. I had everything queued up, but as is usual with this stupid browser, I got it re-queued up, so I got to pause this for a minute. Okay, now according to the Schumann Resonance news from disclosurenews.it, they had the Schumann Resonance at 52 hertz frequency and also 56 hertz frequency, which for that region is pretty high. And heartmath.org, suddenly their site cannot be reached. So I'm going to pause this and try several more times. Again, with the computer problems, tons of electronic breakdowns and miscommunications. We'll see, we'll see. This is what's going on. All right, well, I'm going to pause this and see what happens. All right, so here 20 minutes later, the internet came back on. I wanted to quickly mention something freaky that just happened. A couple things. First of all, the cat's back, and I was able to shut her back up in here. She's got something in her side. It's green, and I can't tell if it's some kind of a dart or a pellet that somebody shot her, or if it's a plant, because it's the color of a plant. And it might be like a cactus or something. Of course, she won't let me get near it, and I don't know what the hell it is. It looks like she's trying to get it out of her side now, though. She came home pretty quick after that. I hope that's the only thing that ever happens to her. And she knows to stay near Mommy and in her own yard. What a saga. Anyway, so that's the first thing. The second thing, this is weird. In the morning, I boiled water for coffee, just to heat it up for coffee, and it seemed to take double the amount of time as normal. Now, it takes really, hardly any time to boil water at sea level versus at 8,400 feet. But today, it took about the same amount of time as it takes for me to boil water at 8,400 feet. So it seems like 10 minutes or something. Whereas here it's 3 minutes, maybe, 5 tops. But at 5 minutes it's already boiled out some of it. So this morning the water boiled so slow. And after I made myself my coffee, it was lukewarm. It wasn't hot. By the time I got the milk and the, stuff in it, it was kind of cold. Okay, and I just made my coffee again. Now it's not this morning, it's 3 hours later. And it boiled extremely rapidly, and it stayed very hot, very hot. After 10 minutes, it was boiling hot still. And so the laws of physics that as we know them are, it seems like they're out the window. It seems to me that there are so many things going on behind the scenes that the regular laws of physics as we know them are not quite complying. Now, it's been 20 minutes since I made my coffee, and yet my coffee is still very warm to the touch, warmer than my coffee this morning after 5 minutes. Okay, so there's that. And here comes Miss Priss. How are you? Are you okay? Are you hurt? Did somebody hurt you? Hey. She's not talking about that. She's like, Mommy will never let me outside. So I did go outside for a few minutes. I did step out and I saw two bluebirds. Made me think of the two bluebirds of happiness. Bluebirds. Bluebirds. So I was thinking about bluebirds of happiness, and I was also thinking that I'd look around, see what other birds I could find. I saw a gray bird with black on its end of its wings, and then I saw two blackbirds. I have not seen blackbirds here, so that was also interesting. So it makes me realize I have to go looking around the neighborhood at more and more birds because it's pretty cool. I also stood on a part of the deck that I don't normally stand on, and I actually have an ocean view, a very teeny tiny view, but it's an ocean view. I mean, technically, there is an ocean view from here. So what? I felt a little bit privileged by that. The cat has an ocean view because there's a window 6 feet up. You know, I can't see out of it. I'm only 5 feet tall. You know, I feel like a little kid in a grown-up's house. It's very weird. I feel like I'm in a house of a giant. And I feel like I'm an intruder here, actually. I feel like I need to leave, honestly. You know, the landlord's pretty cool. His son is really cool. But I just feel like this is not a good gel. It's not a good mix for me. And, I mean, if he puts in the floor, I mean, I'm still looking at a subfloor. There's still holes in the shower. The water for the shower is cold as hell. On cold days, it just doesn't fly with me, man. It's just weird. But, definitely need to make changes. So all I'm doing is God. I'm always saying that now, and I'm going to be doing that my whole 9-hour bus ride. All right, so having said that, heartmath.org finally came up. It took me 20 some odd minutes to get the internet that I was promised to work again. Oh, and look, it's out again. Oh no, it's back. See, when you don't pay your bill, you get the shittiest internet ever. They literally hold you for hostage until you pay again. Anyway, so yeah, there you go, heartmath.org. This is what they have to say about the Schumann Resonance in California at the 2300 hour of the 5th of July. California was at 147 hertz frequency. Hafuf, Saudi Arabia was at 145 hertz frequency. Lithuania was at 216 hertz frequency. Alberta, Canada was at 320 hertz frequency, which is a far cry from 456 where it was just a couple days before. Northland, New Zealand is still at 0 for some reason, and right now, and I don't know when it goes down to 0, if it's literally 0 or if their equipment is having a dysfunction at the moment. But last but not least, we have Hululu, South Africa, that's also in the 140s at 143 hertz frequency. So there it is. That's the science news for today. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to try to do some channeling for you guys and hopefully get this published before I get on the bus. You want to say hello to everybody? You want to say hi to everyone, girl? All right. You do love everyone? She says, well, maybe, yeah. I don't know if you can tell. I can tell the difference in her meows. So, like when a baby cries, I can tell the difference in their yelps. When they're, hi, baby. Oh, hi, honey. Were you happy to go outside? Okay, I'm glad. What's in your side? Is that from a human? This thing on your side? Don't bite me. She doesn't want me to ask about it. Did somebody hurt you? Or was it from a plant? I seriously don't know. It looked like the head of a green caterpillar. So I don't know if someone actually shot her, and she won't let me see it. So I don't know. I might have to come home and take her to the vet in 2 days. she's like, oh, I don't like that idea. She's rolling her eyes at me again. Oh, I love you, baby girl. Meow. Hi, honey. She did thank me just now. She gave me the kitty kisses for letting her go outside. Her muscles feel loose, and she just feels happy. Her energy is happier. I went outside and I asked to connect to the spirit of the wind and the spirit of the ocean while I was out there, by the way, and it really took away a lot of my anxiety. I don't know if this will happen for you, but whatever you're around, maybe the spirit of the forest, the spirit of the desert, just try it. Write me at mermaidgirl888, see if it works for you, and I'll report it back to the rest of us. All right, that's it. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to do some channeling right after this. All right, guys, this is going to be an abbreviated version of my typical 45 to 55 minute channeling that I do. Most channelers in the world channel for like 10 minutes up to 30 minutes at a time. I'm able to go for a lot longer. I don't know why, but I'm also not directly channeling, and that might be why. I am indirectly channeling using telepathy, and it does tend to take a lot of energy out of me. I feel kind of tired after I do it, but I enjoy doing it. So, and I get something out of it too, obviously. I get the knowledge that you guys get because I didn't have it before. Usually it's brand new information, so we love that. Hi, baby girl, what's up? Hi. No, you can't go outside right now because I'm going to go soon. I just gave her a second litter box. She is so happy. She feels like a queen. I've left enough food out for her and water for the next 8 days, and the litter boxes are good to go for, I would have to say 6 days if she's stretching it, but I'm only going to be gone 2 days. But you know, you just never know what may or may not happen. And then the backup plan to the backup plan, of course, is that my landlord will come in and clean the litter boxes. He already volunteered for that part. I'm like, wow, he likes her. He thinks she's a cool cat. So, and she tends to like him too, all right. She likes him just fine. So he also will help her eat. And there's plenty of food. She has plenty of food left in the fridge, as well as canned food. And, you know, he says, well, if he lets her outside, he'll give her tuna, you know, to get her back in here. Now she knows the secret, if she's paying attention. But anyway, so he does have that secret up his sleeve, giving her tuna, bribing her to come back in the house if she gets loose. Now she's looking at me going, stroking her beard with her paw. Now I know the master plan. I'm just kidding. She doesn't have a beard, and she wasn't stroking it with her paw. Anyway, so we're going to channel God right now. This is going to be an abbreviated version, but hopefully it'll be really good information. I'm already connected to Prime Creator, as I always am, and I always have been since 2007. I never break that connection. So I'm connected. Of course, muscle testing says yes. And I've been working for Prime Creator since then, when I gave my life over to the One Will. So that's it. So God, I'm connected. Everything's fine. All right, so I guess just from now on, begin transmission. Prime Creator, you may begin. Greetings, everybody. I am the Prime Creator, the Source, the One Will, the life of all. I am the supplier, the creator, sometimes the destroyer, but usually that ends up resulting in more creation, does it not? I am here today to answer some questions that many of you have been percolating and bubbling up in your mind with over the past, he's showing me 2 to 3 weeks, but also especially in the last week. So, okay. Many of you have questions about the ascension itself, as well as a couple other questions we would like to clarify for you. So you're asking me? Okay, he's asking me, would you like to ask the questions? Okay, that makes sense. All right. Okay, so this is me, Elena, talking Prime Creator. We would like to know, what exactly is it going to be like when we go into the fifth dimension? Are we going to lift up? Are we going to raise up? Are we going to stay where we are but change our vibe? Will the surroundings around us change drastically, or is it going to be the same? You know, we know that we've been in the 1 foot in the fifth dimension, 1 foot in the third. We know that we're kind of there, but we're kind of not there. And we would like to know, what does it take? What's it going to be like? What will it feel like in our physical bodies when we go? So here we go. And this is the answer. So go ahead. Well, it's going to be a little bit different than for you than for someone else, because everyone, of course, is a little different. But what we have heard people say that have, are you really saying that word? He's saying vamoosed, like Bugs Bunny, you know, like vamos in Spanish, but vamoosed. He said when people have vamoosed too, that's just so funny, because I used to say that all the time. So he's plucking that from my subconscious mind, by the way. So he says, people that have already gone basically to the fifth dimension have reported it being kind of a fizzy sensation, like being in a vat of soda, like energetically fizzy, and you feel like you're fizzing out or fizzing up, like you're bubbling up. The energy is, this is how people have described it, where your physical body no longer feels physical, but it also feels electric and in general just fizzy, like you're living in a bottle of soda. And he says, don't try this at home, kids. It's not recommended. Not actually living in a bottle of soda. So the energy has been described as, at first, quite uncomfortable, and after a time, very, at first unpleasant, going and moving into the energy of pleasantness, and going into an energy of ecstatic feelings, energetically feeling happy and positive, where nothing can harm you now, and you feel invincible, and at the same time humbled, and you feel enabled by God to do anything you wish in your life, anything at all. The energy of the fifth dimension is quite different than the third dimension, and you will definitely know the difference when you get there. The question that most people want to have answered is, what is ascension like? For some people, it's going to be immediate, and for most people, it's going to be a process, because most of you like to process things. But overall, once the ascension process has begun, it is not going to take more than 5 days. I am muscle testing on this. 5 days. Yes. Okay. 3 times I muscle tested just now, and yes. When I say muscle testing, for those of you that are new, especially Archangel Gael has been asking me about this, and this is what I told him. I basically had to look it up. Sorry about that. I put my index finger and my middle finger out on my left hand, and I make my index finger kind of stiff. And I asked a question, and I used my middle finger to push down my index finger. And if it, I've already programmed this, so now I know a yes from a no. And I started with simple questions, you know, am I Elena? Am I only human? So I get a yes, and then I get a no. Am I an archangel? I get a yes. Am I an archangel in heaven? I get a no. Am I an archangel on earth incarnated as a human? I get a yes. So, like I just ask questions. Am I 52 years old? Yes. Is my soul 52 years old? No. So like that. So that's a quick little muscle testing. So but you can start off like, is my hair yellow? Is my hair green? Is my hair red? Just get a solid yes and a solid no. And then you can start asking questions, and you make your mind blank in between asking the question and receiving the answer, so that the answer that comes through is 100% real and true. But I also back it up with 2 other questions, and I might ask in a different way because it might be the way you ask the question. And also sometimes I will use a pendulum as a backup, and I also use meditation as a backup to the backup to the backup, because I'm an INFJ or INTJ depending on the day. I'm also a Virgo, so I want to be very thorough, annoyingly so. So that's why I do this. So anyway, quick little lesson there for Archangel Barakiel. Okay, so here we go. The explanation, this is God talking again, the explanation of what does it feel like and how long does the process take will be a general answer, but it's not going to be 100% correct for everybody. Some people will take 1.7 days, some people 3 days, some people 5 days, the full 5 days. Some people might begin the process for 2 days before it officially starts, leaving that at a tune or a time of 7 days. 5 days is a general, but once it officially starts, it's a process that's undergoing, and it starts with the fizzy energy, and the spine becomes very straight. The energy from the spine comes very straight. The spine, the physical spine itself may or may not become straight, but it's the energy that is flowing, makes everything feel very, very straight. The Kundalini rises. Other things start to happen, such as your heart. At first will be irregular, and then it gets quite regular, and you don't feel your bodily functions as much as you would normally in the physical. So when you eat, you barely feel it. You no longer are associating your spirit to your body. You don't feel, like if you touch yourself, you could feel yourself with your hands, but until you feel your head, for example, you're not going to feel that your head is there. You're not going to have the awareness of the body that you had before. You're going to feel that fizzy, bubbly energy, which is emotional as well as physical, and then you detach from the physical body in a way in which you're no longer aware of the nervous system in the physical. You are taking your physical bodies with you. You're not going to leave a husk of a shell behind. You're not going to leave what appears to be a dead body behind for somebody to find, which is akin to spiritual littering. You're not going to be doing that, like throwing a candy wrapper to the side of the road. You're not going to be throwing your body about your apartment or house or wherever you are and just leave. You're in a physical ascension, which has never been done, but we know it can be done. Many of you have already done it on the planet. Many of you who have done it are aware, because you are the spiritual masters of light, the ascended ones, the ascended masters, and you go by many other such names. And I'm feeling like a sharp shooting headache pain while I'm saying this. I'm gonna take a breath or two. So what about pain? The pain of the body will be felt as the last throes of the physical are released. The body will start to vibrate at a rate in which it will feel as if there are bubbles and packets of light in between the interstitial cells, in between the collagen of the face or the collagen in the skin. You're going to feel different if you touch your skin. You feel a little bit like you have been numbed. You will get used to the rainbow body, or the whatever you want to call it, the higher vibrational body. There's been many different names throughout many different cultures. He's saying some people have said a blue light body has been reported in some cultures when they perceive the color blue, like an electric blue energy. He's saying it's kind of like a glow, like a fuzzy glow that hangs about the body right as the process of ascension is starting to take place. It's not the glowing that people associate with halos, or the light that comes from within to without, or that surrounds the body in a way that appears like the golden masters. They will call them the illuminated ones, because they appear to be illuminated from within and from behind their body, like from their spine out. And when they've been painted in artwork around the world as having this light from behind them, almost as if God is backing you, which I am. This blue light is quite different. Some people perceive it as a purpley blue with a little bit of a magenta mixed in, or a fuchsia in some cases, right before the flash takes place. There's going to be a quick flash of your body that will, you may or may not be aware of at the time, because you will be breathing, you'll be breathing physically with your oxygen in your lungs type of breathing, but also you'll be breathing with your chakras. He's showing me with our third eye, with our solar plexus, like all of our chakras will feel like they're heaving forward to and fro in unison with each other, but also magnetizing to the one will of light, with God energy, not earth energy. He says no more grounding. If you want this to take place, no more grounding. You don't ground yourself into the third dimension. A lot of people, you've been doing that. Don't do it anymore if you want to actually ascend. No longer associate yourself with the body or the physical world. Continuously associate yourself with the higher vibration, with the higher energy, the portal that comes through the sun. He's putting my hand up above my head in a as above, so below symbol, which I'm doing right now. As I do this and say this, he's showing me there's a stiffness in my left arm as I do this, and he's showing me that there is a direct and real, very real connection between us and the sun. Every one of us. The sun is our portal. It's going to pop us up into the next vibration. Okay, so are we going to, okay, this is Elena speaking now. God, are we going to be able to pop in to the fifth dimension via the portal of the sun? Or is that just going to give us the energy and the impetus and the means to do it? And the second part to that question, the astrology and what's going on with the sun, the CIR, the solar wind, is that going to help us as well? Okay, so go ahead. Prime Creator is speaking now. Yes, well, you're not... Is that true? We are not going to go through the portal of the sun? Yes, it is true. We are not going to go through the portal of the sun. The portal of the sun is going to send energy, beams of light, rays of light towards us. And I'm muscle testing says yes. And we will be able to pop up into the fifth dimension and still receive the light of the sun, which will appear different to us when we are fully recognized and enabled in the fifth dimension. When we are there in that light, in that energy space, as you complete the process, he's showing me that there's going to be like a coming down energy, like we're going to go like up, like an elevator when it kind of jolts a little bit at the bottom. like when you go up several floors and then it kind of jolts down a little bit, and it's kind of like a machine kind of feeling. He says some people report like a jolt, like they go up, 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 and then almost like they overshot their mark, and then they come down an inch or two. It's like what he showed me, like a boom. And you're going to go, whoa, and you're going to feel like a solid locking in or a popping in energy. Is that correct? A muscle testing says yes. So once you get up and you up into this, the fifth dimension, and you have this locking, popping... And now I'm hearing a Baby Bash song. Hey, Baby Bash. I've been talking to him a little bit on Instagram, so that's kind of funny. That's why it's in my, that song. Anyway, so it's like a pop or a lock feeling. After that, what's going to happen? You're going to feel an aura about you, almost like a mist or plasma. You're going to instantly know the pleasantness of the plasma energy, which is like very much like a purple mist or a purple haze. Now I'm thinking about weed. And he's showing me it's kind of like there's going to be different energies, like different colors that maybe we aren't aware of here. He's showing me an orangey reddish energy almost, but it's going to be flowing in golden and fuchsia and purple. And now I'm seeing like a darker purple. And I see the blue and green vibe, but of plasma that will be maybe below us at our feet. But it's like a mist, but it's a solid mist, but it's not as solid as actual mist on the third dimension. It's plasma. And that's going to be our solid world, is the plasma. So where we come from solid, liquid, gas, and then plasma that we can't see, the plasma is going to be the bottom of our solid world from now on. Once we hit the fifth dimension, that's why I'm understanding it now. I'm getting yes. He says you will become aware of other forms of matter once you are in the fifth dimension, but it's not, there's no sense in pointing it out yet, because once you get there, there will be other teachers and people there to help you and assist you in your discovery of the next world. Okay, so then what happens? We're at 21 minutes, so 21, I just looked. Woo! So now what happens? And I'm looking, and yes, I did that at 88% and at 5:55 p.m. I knew it. Oh, yes. I feel like so in the flow, guys, when I'm getting these numbers. Like, this is crazy, in a good way. It's a good crazy. God says it. Yes, it's a good crazy. All right. You're going to feel the energy of other people around you, and you're going to see with what you've been deeming your third eye the whole time. Your physical eyes will work, but they're going to have a hard time seeing through the mist at first. Everything will adjust, and that takes 3 Earth days to adjust. But in the fifth dimension, the time is going to pass so slow, it will feel like a week, 6 to 7 days, Earth days. But after a time, as you magnetize yourself more towards the fifth dimension and less towards the third dimension, the idea of time and space is going to fall away. All right, so what's the world and landscape going to look like once the mist clears, or we are able to see through it, or what's going on there? The landscape is quite similar, surprisingly so. Now, what about God? What about, that's it. That was like the only, that's like hardly an answer. He's showing me kind of, I'm seeing like peninsulas, like land, and I see like the ocean, that kind of thing. Like, you know, if that's where I live. So he's showing me that kind of now. But are there trees? He says, yes, there are trees, but it's not what you think, because there aren't insects there. Thank God. All right. I mean, thank you, God. There aren't insects there. There aren't, the physical dirt is gone. Like, there's what appears like dirt, but it's not dirty dirt. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's not dirt like what we think of. It's terrain, but not... You will no longer busy yourself with a bunch of cleaning of the dirt, the constant cleaning of the dirt and the constant maintenance and functioning like a maid in your own home, like constantly cleaning and doing, and all the busy work that you had is going to cease because it won't be necessary any longer. You will be focused more and more on the higher dimensions. The pursuits you will engage in will come from a higher intellectual mind. You will start to question everything again from a different perspective, and you will be able to discern truths that before were only mysteries to you. When you ask a question, it will answer itself immediately in your mind of minds, which will be something you understand more when you get there. You're going to have more of a oneness connection and awareness of that oneness connection, which you have now. You just don't have the awareness of it with your connection to God. Or the one will, whatever you want to call it. The prime creator, primal will to good energy that you've been connecting with, you're going to be much more aware of. You're going to feel your personal power in a way that you have never felt it before. You're going to feel your connection to not only God, but to each other, your oneness with all things. And you're going to feel the glory and the peace that you have not felt your whole life living in the third dimensional earth. Magic is real and palpable in this state. Magic is going to be your go-to, and it's going to become second nature. What you think about, you bring about quite quickly. Your connection with animals will be stronger. It will be more joy-filled and less tedious and stressful. Like he's saying, like, with me worried about the cat going everywhere, that was kind of stressful. She's okay now. She's here in the house, but for a while I'm like, come back home now. It's been 2 hours, it's stressful. He's saying that cats and dogs, whoever pops up into the fifth dimension will be able to run and play easier. Life will be better. There'll be less cares and worries, less worries, no worries at all in the fifth dimension for humans as well as animals. So what about our interaction with other people? It won't be exactly like the seventh dimension where you're able to think about a person and boom, they're there. You call them to you immediately and they just pop right in, like boop, they're there. It's going to be more like you'll call them to you, but it'll be much easier. You're going to use telepathy to do this, not telephones or texting. It's just going to feel very natural and free, and you think about them and they will be there soon. They'll start walking your way or coming your way, or you'll have a feeling to walk a certain direction and you'll be there. You're not going to live in an element of mist only, not floating around in space in mist, in plasma. That's one thing we want to clear up. We want to let you know that there will be furniture, beds, the like. It'll just be, you'll have to use your mind to create what you want, and it's going to take a little ways or a little while to create it and figure this out. But you're going to have the ability to create your space in the correct vibration and colors for you. And you're going to be more interested in music. You're going to have tones, music. If you're tone deaf in the third dimension, you won't be in the fifth dimension. You will be able to sing and say into your existence that which you wish, that which you desire. You will have a lot less communication with each other about eating, drinking. You're not going to feel the need to escape through drugs or alcohol or, any kind of plant medicine. You won't need those teachers any longer to learn and grow because you've already learned and you've already grown enough so that you're now in the fifth dimension. You're going to feel much more at ease with this world. You're going to have connection to things like dragons, unicorns, fairy, the fae. They will pop in and out of your reality much more easy. You'll be able to see them, interact with them, and understand each other's languages, and telepathing is going to be easier than ever. The communication with you and all of life is going to be filled with joy. It's going to be filled with absolute curiosity, and you're going to feel like a kid in a candy store, just being curious everywhere you go. And it's a playground for your mind. Your physical body won't be so much involved with that play in the playground situation, but your spirit is going to be at ease and at rest. And therefore, you're going to be a lot more activity filled, but not filled in such a way that it's busybody activity like you are in the third dimension, where you feel like you're scrambling your wheels constantly and scrambling your brains constantly and just scrambling everything just to get ahead, make a living, pay for everything. All the dross, the heavy energy of that will fall away in the fifth dimension. He's just showing me like this fuzzy feeling of energy, and I feel like has a process started in my body. God's saying yes. Will I be able to do the show as soon? Like, will I still have the ability to do the show? He says yes. Okay, so it's not 100% like the way the messy bedroom I have right now is not going to fall to the wayside, and now I have a perfect room with no clothes in it. Things are still going to be here, so it's not. It's just that the energy is going to be different. That's the feeling I'm getting. So I'm still going to have my clothes and my things and whatever. Do I still have to pay rent? He says yes, but everything's going to be so much more effortless. So I feel like, because if we go to heaven, that's completely different than the fifth dimension or the third. But the fifth dimension is completely different from the third. And he's saying that you're just going to... It's just going to be way different. I can't even imagine seeing plasma. But that's what he shows me, that we're going to be able to see plasma. We're going to be able to see. I just, looked. It was 3121. That might mean something to somebody there who's listening. I'm still not, I feel like I'm not satisfied with these explanations. He says, for now, you're going to have to be satisfied with these explanations because it's more of an experience than something you can comprehend intellectually with a third dimensional brain. Fair enough. Is it going to be dark? No, it's going to be very, very bright. The colors are very bright. Much like many of you would akin it to being on a mushroom trip or taking acid. It's going to be quite vibrant like that. If you've ever tried these, that's what it's going to feel like all the time. All right, it's 32:23 when I stopped that. I don't know where we were, Father Prime Creator. I got my passport, guys. A lot more chill right now. I held the cat in my arms and all of her muscles are relaxed. She loves to run around. Man, everything feels good. Everything's now suddenly flowing right, the correct way. So, where were we, Prime Creator? We only have like 3 minutes or something. There's going to be a wind, an energetic, it's going to feel, it's not actual wind, but it feels like an energetic wind blowing you upward from the base of your spine, below your pelvis. It's going to be from your 11th chakra that's deep into the ground of the earth. And it's going to be all the way up to your 12th chakra, which is your, there's the soul star, then I don't know what it's called, Okay, well, God's just saying it's the galactic chakra that connects you with the galaxies, and it's going to feel like a wind pushing you and blowing you up, like a wind in a wind tunnel or a wind corridor from the center of the earth all the way up, 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 up to the highest reaches of the cosmos, but it's going to be interdimensional, and it's energetic, and it's going to just feel like it's pushing you up, 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 and you're going to feel physical pressure, but once you are up, popped into the fifth dimension, you're not going to feel the physical pressure any longer. Pain, aches and pains, hunger pains, emotional pains, they will be felt, but very slightly. Like hunger pains too, not so much. But saying emotional pains will be felt, but not so slightly. But the physical pains will be gone. You'll just feel great. Yay! You guys, I will tell you, I normally wake up with a lot of pain in my body and stiffness, and today not so much. I feel a lot better than normal for me, especially after having walked and walked and walked. I was tired, and I slept almost 13 hours, but I don't have the physical pain like I was having before. So I'm connecting to that God source, and I suggest you do too. God, is there any other thing you wish to leave us? He's showing me that there's a spiraling energy as well that will be going around that tunnel, and it's spiraling in a clockwise fashion from the ground up. And as it spirals in a conic shape, and you might be aware of that as well. And it's going to be like wind, almost like you're living in a tornado of energy, but it's positive. What does it look like? He's showing me all kinds of colors, but specks of gold, and that gold is like light, but it looks like actual gold, is the way I'm perceiving it. You might perceive it as blinking on and off lights or glitter. Yay! We're all living in a glitter tornado. Oh, it's kind of, that's just the way I'm perceiving it, but it might also be like silver light. It just depends on your perception. And it might be colored glitter. It just depends on, he's showing me like a magenta. I'm seeing like a magenta color, which is strange. I came here on the emerald race, so if I was making this up in my own mind, it'd be like freaking turquoise or green, right? But those are my favorite colors. Everything in my house is turquoise or green. But he's showing me like kind of a magenta-ish. And I feel it's almost like fuchsia, and I feel like there's other energies and vibrations and colors we'll be able to see with our higher vision once we get popped into the fifth dimension. So once you get popped into the fifth dimension, everything's going to flow effortlessly. It's not going to be a problem anymore. So we're going to be able to take from the ether whatever we need. Yeah. The cities are going to come faster too. The superhuman abilities that come, they're normal, they're super normal, but they're superhuman abilities from a 3D perspective. They're going to just come fast, rapidly to you. When you need them, they will come to you really quickly. But also you have to learn and grow in spirituality. You have to just keep meditating, keep focusing. God, 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 God energy. And that's what it's going to take. Any last parting words before we close this out? Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Life is great. Life is grand. Everything is going to be available to you. And know that God is here to hold your hand. It's a nice rhyme for you. Rhyme-ish. We love you. You are loved. You are love. Love is in through you. And throughout this whole process, you're going to feel supported by the universe and loved. Don't worry. Don't panic. All is well. We love you. We always will. We hold you in the palm of our hands as you hold yourself in the highest regard and esteem, because you are just nothing if not love and pure God energy. Focus on that within and nothing else, and everything else will be added unto you. I am the prime creator, the primal will to good, which eternally creates and sustains the universe. and I am always available. Listen for the still small voice within your heart, within your mind, within your soul, and everything is going to be well. Just call upon me for every little thing, because it is all made available to you with one quick request. Be well, be happy, be good, be aware, and quickly you will be in the fifth dimension. And he says, I am your prime creator. And it has been a pleasure manifesting with you and creating with you and creating you. Always, 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 that love is there, loving you actively. Tap into it for healing of anything, body, mind, soul, anything. Repairing relationships with others. That is what it's there for. It is always made available to you. Tap into it, request it, live in it, live in the moment of it. It is in each moment. We love you. End transmission. All right, guys, that's it. I've got my passport. We'll travel. I will be able to go to Quito, so I've got to go book my hostel. Now I have the screen opened on my computer where I could just do that. Got to go pick out some lo-fi chill hop music for my cat to enjoy her life to, until she decides to turn it off in a couple hours, like I know she will, because I know her. And then that's it. I mean, I'm gone. I'm going to go to Quito, go hop on a bus for the next 8 to 9 hours. I'm going to go grab some snacks. So I want to go in the next hour to go get all this done. Anyway, that's it, guys. I love you. Thank you for your continued faith and confidence in the show. And for those of you who have sent in donations to mermaidgirl888@gmail.com via PayPal, I want to thank you. And I will mention you by name. And if I forget, let me know so I could tell tell the world what a sweetheart you are. And thank you for that. Also, for those of you who have promoted me on Instagram, Facebook, and other social media such as Twitter and TikTok, thank you so much for that as well. I will be back tomorrow, inshallah, with God willing. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow with all unique and original programming, just like always. Hopefully, I will be doing the show from my from my single little bed in the hostel. And Knowledge Raven Spell wants to say goodbye. Yes, meow. Okay, she came right up to the tablet to tell you guys, and that's it. Hi, baby girl, and that's it. I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.